As customary, we always start the podcast off with an intro. What's up, motherfucker?
Well, we're missing Mr. White.
Now he right there. All right, y'all.
Oh,
Welcome back,
your
fellow
video.
travelers. We coming back from the east side to the west side. Got a long time OG back with us. Blowing it up, TNT. What you go by? What's your nickname? The TNT, we going by T. What we going you?
TNT1.
TNT
Please.
one. That's too long. We just gonna say TNT, blowing it up.
Oh.
We got K Dub back in here. Smoky Claws. You already know. Straight out of prison.
What's
They
good,
gave him some
everybody?
time outside. We got Mr. White staring off into the abyss.
Big old wrench.
Big wrench. We got big wrenches, Smokey, and then TNT. And you got yourself, yours truly, L Maxwell. You know, the beautiful one. We're gonna kick off the podcast real quick before anybody disagrees. We're gonna talk about a subject near and dear to our heart, just to kick it off, to let everybody know we out here struggling too. Everything high as hell. It's third week of the year. Shit don't look like it's gonna get better.
Eggs are $9 a dozen. It's fucking crazy.
I don't even fucking eat eggs like that. But I know if I was slanging that white, they talking about them white eggshells now. Speaking of white, what you think about that, Mr. White?
Yeah, I actually went to the store like 2 weeks ago. Well, it was like, I want to say 3 weeks ago, right? And I got a carton of eggs from the store, and it was like $3 for 12 or for a dozen. I was like, okay, cool. The eggs are high, but okay. I went to the store the very next week, and there were 5 some a dozen, the same eggs. And I was like, wait, what happened? Are the chickens not getting laid? Like, well, I'm confusion because how did it double in a week? You know, so that just threw me. So
Well,
There's no extra protein. There's no extra calories. They just charging you extra.
Well, you know, the eggs that you eat, they don't require for the chickens to get laid. They just lay them without having sex. Those are unfertilized eggs.
I mean, you messed my joke up, but okay.
Yeah, that still doesn't answer why we now getting like security tags on egg cartons right now.
Yeah, I seen that. I guess people be stealing eggs. What, the bakers be out here stealing? Who else be out here stealing eggs like that? Man, shut your dog
really-
ass up. My bad.
Really
dog.
sad a baker does.
I'm yelling at my dog.
A dozen.
No, I get it though, because the price of everything has gone up. But to me, it's just the price of eggs has ridiculously gone up. And I made a Facebook post on it. I said, so no one wants to talk about the price of eggs? Like, I made it like a week and a half ago, and then a few days ago, I seen an article. Why are eggs so expensive? I'm like, oh yeah, they saw my page, and then they're gonna make a whole news article about it.
They just saw your page, and they was like, ooh,
So
investigative reporting.
there's 3 reasons why eggs are going up, and these are the real reasons. All jokes aside, number 1, demand's at an all-time high. Number 2, COVID happened, so that disrupted the supply, right? So number 1, they never even met the initial demand, and number 2, the COVID went crazy, and number 3, just overall inflation in general. So when you add those 3 things together, it's going to be bad. So in order for egg prices to go back down, we need either demand to go down, or number 2, we need more chickens. And chickens take about 24 weeks to get to the point where they laying eggs like that, and they last only maybe 2 to 3 years. Don't ask me why I know so much about chickens.
No, actually, what the thing is like I have seen like there are a lot of people not getting eggs now because they're so expensive. So the eggs are actually stocked. It's not like there was a low supply that caused the price to go up.
Now,
You know what's not really going up though?
Yeah, no, they're up. They're legitimately. Dude, go do a screen share and just go to like some grocery store and look at egg prices. They're fucking crazy. But it's also number 4. There was a massive bird flu, so they've been killing the birds by the millions.
They got to. Yeah, so not only demand going up, supply going down, inflation, and
The producers.
And yeah.
So some hot tips: egg replacements. You can have just egg. You can do tofu, scramble it up. It's not a 1-to-1 replacement. if you're baking, you can do a ratio of 1 cup of powdered flax seeds to 3 cups of water, or 1 to 3, whatever that ratio is. And then if you're baking, that's a good egg replacement.
I mean, that
You
works
can do
out. Yeah, that works out good if you want to pay for your eggs. But if you smart, you take a dozen eggs, you're gonna lose about 2 of them. Drop 2 of them eggs as you running out the store with them. Ain't nobody gonna catch you. They gonna slip on them 2 eggs. So you got 10 for the free.
Yeah, that makes sense to me. Don't make money, don't make sense.
But I eat more egg whites anyways, and the price of egg whites have not gone up a lot because people want the yolk, people want whole eggs. But egg whites, generally people, they discard it anyway, because a lot of eggs, they just take the yolk to make pasta. You know what I mean? So
Really?
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah.
Said that avian flu or bird flu done affected almost 60 million chickens.
mm-hmm.
That is insane.
Mm-hmm. So what's happening is humans, we had our pandemic. We gotta pray for them birds. They going through they pandemic right now. They waiting for a vaccine from the government.
It's the second bird flu in our lifetime.
Them birds need better scientists.
Well, the thing is they're not actually doing anything. They're killing them off. That's what they're doing.
Mm-hmm. They're giving it to McDonald's. I can taste it in the nuggets. They don't taste the same.
They're giving you sick chicken.
Mm-hmm. It's still good though. You just got to dip it in that sweet and sour. But besides eggs, eggs, yeah, I know all about that. Besides eggs, what else is going up in the world? You know what I mean? Of course, houses, they kind of went back down in price, but they still high as hell.
No, they're stagnant. They haven't gone up. They haven't gone down.
7% interest. You fucking kidding me?
For a loan, for a mortgage?
You can get a credit card cheaper than you can buy a house right now. You probably put a fucking house down payment on a credit card and be cheaper. You were better at the math than me, Max. So do the math. But
why do you suggest that I'm better at math than you?
Oh shit! Because you literally were. Because I was a terrible student, and I just was. I'm not taking the bait. So there's that. I'm not taking the bait.
You want me to say it?
Somebody bail me out.
You're Asian.
See. Anyways,
Thanks for the assist, bro.
So when it comes down to it, the reason why mortgage prices are so high is because they're raising the rates, at the Fed, and the Fed is looking to land right at 5%. So we have about 4.75 right now. So they're gonna raise it up to 5% in about a couple months. We're gonna see where we land, and then from there they may decide to cut it back. But I don't think mortgages are gonna be.
Y'all need to go to your local. I'm getting my little soapbox. I got a little soapbox. I'm get on it. Go to your local councils and tell them to stop building single family houses everywhere. Supply and demand. If you only have single family houses, old people ain't moving out. Young people don't want to live in apartments. They're not building apartments at scale. Housing crisis. So that's enough work.
Well, it's the same thing. I mean, they're purposely limiting supply for some houses. Like, for instance, in California, I think the federal government, or maybe the state government, they were like, "Hey, y'all got to build this many houses by this year." Like for some counties, and some of the counties are like, "No, we good on that because we want to limit supply to artificially raise the pricing of homes first." But then they're like, "Yeah, but people can't buy houses." It's like, well, they should make more money then. It's like, what? That's not a sustainable for the human aspect, but from a
fuck humans. We don't care about humans.
I mean,
about money.
What they say in some cities, there's more empty houses than there are homeless people on the street. So it's like you could literally be cheaper to just house the homeless, but then again, they might tear up the place. Who knows? But whatever.
I have not heard of that. There are cities with more abandoned houses than homeless people.
Not abandoned houses, unoccupied houses. They're not abandoned for any reason. They're just vacant, and they're like
second and third vacation homes. San Francisco is a good example. Lake County, California is an amazing example that used to piss me off every day. There's like a row of houses that are on the lake. They're literally vacant 9 months of the year. These drive me crazy. A a lot of apartment buildings are being built up, to be fair, but like foreign investors are paying for them and letting them sit vacant because that's a way to park their money where like wherever like country they're at. Like that's like that's their escape plan.
So think of it like this, and this is for real in the real estate market. People will buy houses to hold and just wait for a bull market. So when it goes up, then they'll finally sell, because it costs them nothing to just keep it unoccupied. They done already spent the money buying it. They just let it sit, and they'll buy all the houses around it, right? So whereas now all these houses aren't for sale, and they bought it at let's say 100,000, but so there's no houses for sale. But when a person actually wants to buy a house to live in, they're gonna have to pay over asking just to be able to secure a house from someone else that's willing to let go of these houses. So now the next person asks, "Oh, well, I'll pay you 120." Okay, then the next guy goes, "All right, I'll pay you 130." And now the houses you were sitting on that you bought at 100, you can sell those for 130 now, because that's the going rate. Make a quick, easy 30% just by holding it for 2 years. Think about the returns on the stock market. They just want to, what's the average return they advertise? You can get 6%. That's a good year, right? So if you making 30%, if you making 30% just holding it for a year or 2 years, you killing the stock market. So it's messed up, because in the end, it's like you don't even have any intentions of living here. You just want to make a return, which I guess I get it. It makes sense, but there should be something against that. Like if you ain't gonna live in it, you gotta sell it.
The Dodd-Frank rule, which came out in 2008 when the first market crashed, because of the exact same bullshit we're dealing with, but it was slightly different because people were doing those bullshit junk mortgages. So they was doing like the no document, the ninja. That's what they call them, the ninja loans.
I'm offended.
I'm hearing myself saying it. I'm hearing myself saying it. They were doing the we'll count your overtime income as straight income, no documents, your adjustable rate mortgage,
back
for
in the
example.
99 and the 2000s, huh?
A little bit later, and we're right back there.
Yeah, because I was gonna say, man, like they're doing it, like, because when I was in the market for houses, like in back 2018, 2019, in Memphis, like in certain areas, they're all building homes. So a home could be listed, or they start the building process and say, "Hey, I'm going to pay $250 home," and they sit on that home, and right when it's about to complete, the home's up to over $300,000, and they sell it. Never put a piece of furniture in it, and like I said, they made what 50, 60,000, well, minus fees and whatnot, but they made 50 grand just by making monthly payments. On this lot.
That's what any investment. I mean, we think about stocks. They have IPOs. Some people do early investing, and they just hope that it goes to market. IPO comes out, they flip their money, and as soon as they get their money, they sell. And because you'll see every IPO takes off the first 2-3 hours, and then it crashes, and then you see what the real value of the price is. Sometimes it's the other way around. They say, "Oh, the IPO is too low," and it just keeps going up and up. But 2021, you'll see a lot of IPOs like Robinhood or Carvana or whoever, they took off, and then now they crashing. Like Carvana's like under $8 right now. They got up to like 200 some. But I mean, but my point is like I can't argue that's capitalism. Like, hey, you got your money, you want to blow it, because it could go the other way. You could be buying snake oil. You know what I mean?
95% of it is snake oil.
Shit, y'all heard about this crypto? I ain't touching crypto no more. You know what I mean?
You get burned by Dogecoin?
Dogecoin, what, 7 cents right now?
I'm gonna eventually get back into crypto, because they think in 2023 it's gonna take off. Like crypto done already jumped up like 25% in the last month.
Which one?
All of them, honestly, but Bitcoin and Ethereum are leading the pack.
What's Bitcoin right now?
Bitcoin is at 21,000 right now.
Damn.
And it used to be at 67.
Yeah, it used to be at the 60s. So that's actually a hell of a nosedive.
I mean, it was at 16. It was a 16 product the other week. So I would say, okay, if you got in at 16 and you're selling now, you're making a quick 25%. So that's cool. But I'm not here to chance it. I'm chilling. You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
The thing is,
I'm just gonna sit on these eggs, and when they hatching the chickens, I'm selling them chickens when they make more eggs. Y'all got to get ahead of the game, bro. The chicken game is where it's at right now.
We call cocaine chickens. We flip them birds. Now we're literally flipping birds.
We are.
Somebody flipped me the bird the other day. I was like, That's love, dog.
Flipping the bird is now a term of endearment because eggs are expensive.
Get your money.
Hey, but
That's what I want
Bitcoin
for my
gonna make a
favorite
comeback.
ring.
Just depends upon what side you're gonna be on when it makes the comeback.
When do you think it's going to come back? What's your prediction?
I'm like, honestly, I think it's gonna come back by the summer of this year because in March of 21, it was at 61,000. Then it dropped all the way down to 31,000 in June of 21. Then it jumped all the way back up. So I think that it'll pretty much bottom out at the 16,000 or 20,000. But I think by the time we hit the summer, it probably will be back up to about 30 or 40.
I mean, look. If you believe in it, bro, bet on it, bro. Bet on it like that Chargers bet. The dude bet $1.4 million at halftime to get $11,000. Ended up losing 1.4.
Yes, he did.
Must be nice. He'll write it off in his taxes.
Shoot, he ain't gonna be writing off his all. I'm jumping off a bridge if that was me, and I ain't got 1.4 million.
Honestly, you can't write gambling losses off of your taxes.
Not entirely.
You can only use them. Yeah.
It's stocks. They don't found a loophole. It's not gambling to them. They're buying stocks.
No.
We gambling when we get lotto tickets. Speaking of, what's the jackpot? 1.5 trillion?
Now somebody won that. Somebody already won that now. It wasn't me. That's why I'm still doing this show. But anyways, all right. So speaking of gambling, this has no transition, but I'm just gonna switch subjects. So why is being an adult hard as hell right now? Because I swear when I was a kid, I was like, man, it can't be that bad. It can't be that bad. Now that I became an adult, and I'm like, my knees stopped working. My kids won't stop crying, asking me for stuff like time, attention, food, shelter, love, endearment, protection.
It's that damn love. It'll get you every time.
What I mean? And then my dog was just yapping a second ago. Shoot, we're talking about I need food daily, man. Like, what's wrong with you, dog? Literally.
So are you talking about basically why is adulting period hard, or do you feel that adulting is harder now than it was maybe 20 to 50 years ago?
Hey, you sound like you on a tangent, bro. Go ahead, let it loose, man. Get what's off your chest.
I think both generations have their pros and cons. To me, I think it's a little harder now. Obviously, finances, inflation, whatnot, and we also have new bills that they didn't have back in the day. They wouldn't think of an internet bill, or all they had was radio. So daycare, things like that. It's all sky high. So I think financially right now is hard. Yeah, for sure.
Cable, and they had to get like every single channel because all that shit was a la carte, and you could easily rack up a $300 cable bill.
Man, I remember back in the day, you can get cable, the cheapest plan, and then you can go on the internet on eBay, buy a cable descrambler, and you get all the channels. They shut that down though, but that was live back in the day.
Well, what they're doing now is
you had the scramble channel.
What scramble channel?
The one with the squiggly lines, and you had to tilt your head and see what it was about.
Nah,
those were the nasty channels.
Yeah, sure. I ain't watch all that. I was watching them telecommuting evangelist shows. You know what I mean? I was out there buying all them little preyed upon, what they call holy napkins. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
When you pray, you get.
I think I wiped it on my forehead one time. It broke me out. I don't know what happened.
You a demon.
Mm-hmm.
But now, what else am I saying?
I don't know. See, you getting old. Case in point.
Yeah. Oh, getting old. It sucks.
So Kevin, you're an adult, right? What would you say the hardest part of your day is? Because I swear back in the day, they said just getting a good cup of coffee was the hardest thing.
Man, hardest part of my day now. Hardest part of my day now is dealing with these grown babies. That's what the hardest part of my day is. Everybody think they special. They think their emotions are now validated and overrides all logic and community aspects. Everybody wants.
I ain't trying to get canceled, but what you talking about, bro?
Mm-hmm. You talking about your coworkers? You talking about your dating life?
Man, no, we ain't talking about work. We ain't trying to get nobody fired. I ain't paying nobody your bills. He's talking about social media.
Man,
I see this little smirk. What's that about? The little smirk. He got a little smirk. I want to dig into this.
Who, me? Oh, you talking about Kevin?
Man, I'm just talking about people in general. I'm not finna get any specifics, but constantly having to line these people expectations up. I don't know who told these people they were special, but it's like, you may be special to your family, but you are not special to me. Please get your business in order.
Their mommy told them they were special. And remember, we all got participation trophies from Little League. So that's what that is.
Man, I remember when because I didn't get participation trophies. If you sucked at it, you just sucked. That was the way you knew to go to somewhere, go something else.
Hey.
Like, if you're not good at this, choose another sport.
Kevin didn't get no participation trophies. That man was valedictorian. He got all that junk. He stole that junk. You know what I mean? I still remember to this day. You know what I mean? That man stole that junk. Everybody was so happy when Kevin got valedictorian in high school, bro. He went on that stage. He went up there. He walked up there just like this, quick as hell. I remember that shit. He was head bobbing there. He snatched that thing. He said, "I dedicate this to Max because his ass is number 11." I was from 11. I wasn't that smart in high school. I don't know how I turned out so decent.
There's a joke in there, but I'm not touching it with a 20-foot pole. I already got in trouble once. I ain't trying to get canceled.
I'll kick you off the show right now. Hey, Kurt, you remember what you placed at? I forget. I mean, you did all right?
I did all right. I think I was like number 80 something.
That's pretty good. Top 100 out of 400. Top 25.
Yeah, it was like 3 something.
Yeah. I mean, like,
your graduating class was 3 something?
No, we had like 400.
And the graduating senior class?
It was like 300. So, well, the graduating class was actually like, it was like 300 people, but people in class, it was like, yeah, it was.
Remember, we had 1,600 students at our high school.
Yeah, we had a lot of students.
My entire high school, I think we had like 297. And in my graduating class, we had like 120. And I was feeling some kind of way.
Was it like a special school or just a regular high school? Or?
Like vocational school or something like that?
No, it was a regular high school, but then they had the International Baccalaureate program. They had computer science. They had
I get it. Like I think my wife's high school only had like 200 something. She only had like a graduating class of less than 100.
Yeah. I know someone. I went to a graduation that it was one of those Christian schools, but the graduating class had less than 60 people.
Mm-hmm.
Damn, that's small.
The graduating class. So yeah.
Speaking of school,
I remember there was only 20 black people in my graduating class, and with the IB students, there was like 80 of us. And I think it was only 20 black students, and I was like one of 5 black girls.
Ooh.
And 2 of them were twins. So,
well, that's technically only 4.
Wait, did they still get you mixed up with the other black girls?
No.
It never fails. It never fails. Ah, bless your heart.
Oh, Dale, you hit me with the bless your heart. Ouch.
We from the South. All right. So speaking of school, I guess when's the last time y'all got a phone call from school asking to donate that y'all ignored?
I'm a lifetime member, so they don't bother me anymore.
Oh, you talking about Florida? I'm talking about Tennessee.
Mm-hmm. Tennessee never called me.
Yeah, they called me a couple times. I every time they call me, I say, "Yo, I'm gonna try to consider paying y'all back when I pay these student loans off." And I'm like, "Okay, we understand." Click.
Well, no, that's the question. How do y'all feel about Biden's student loan forgiveness? That $20,000 off top.
Oh man.
And I'm this is a good topic. So me personally, I've always felt if you borrow, you pay. You know, it's always for me. If you make a credit card bill, you pay it back. If you buy $1,000 TV, you can't afford it, give the TV back. Or do something. I've never been a big fan of forgiveness. But ever since the COVID happened and people were losing their jobs and not making much, I'm like, okay, compensate people with like the student loan forgiveness. You know, now granted, I didn't go to college, so I didn't have any student loans, but for the people who did, hey, good for them if they get the forgiveness program. Because I'm not the one. But what about me? What about me? I don't live like that. I'm doing pretty.
So he's smarter than me. I wish I would have not went to college. But anyway, Kevin, what you got? How you feeling, baby?
Here's my thing. It's an undergrad, and I went to get my master's. I don't have any student loans, but when it was like, "Hey, we're gonna go ahead and get the money out," I was like, "Yo, that's a good thing. Go ahead and pass the money out." Everybody else, you ain't gonna get no money. You probably upset, you mad. So I'm gonna be petty now. I hope they don't get it. I hope if it does go out, instead of it going towards council student loans, just give everybody $10K across the board. Let them determine what they're gonna do with it. Don't give it back student loans. But honestly, I think it's a poison pill. I don't think there's gonna be any political party that's actually gonna be able to give the money out. If they are, cool. Go ahead and do it.
It's at the Supreme Court now. It's because two white people sued. What about you, Max?
All right, so
Max.
Max, before you go, because I don't think it's actually like going to be a situation of, because if you give everyone $10K, I don't think that will work. But giving everyone $20,000, all you're doing is just saying, "Hey, cancel." It's not actually giving them physical money. So I can see that.
You a check.
Right,
they're going because the way they was able to figure out to make it work. Once it clears the Supreme Court, they're going to cut you a check for either 10 or 20 grand. And the expectation is that you turn around and pay that money on your student loan. They're not just going to write it off the balance of your loan.
Yeah, that's not smart.
So let me go ahead and back your thing up. So show y'all what we talking about here now. So first off, even if they cut the check, I make too much. I just got to put that out there. I'm not going to get it. But I'm not opposed to people. I'm not opposed to people that can get it, should get it. I'm not worried about that, because the way I look at it is they give people money for stupid stuff all the time anyway. PPP loans, they said about over 80% of them just probably fraud, but they got no way to recover the money, right? So they just threw that money out in the wind. We give money to Ukraine, which I think is a rightful cause. We want to avoid World War III if we can. But either way, some people disagree with it. They still give the money, still going out there. And then we go back at us some more. They gave out a bunch of loans to all these corporations during COVID, during the bailouts, all these other different things, and they never looked a dime. But the thing that I feel that takes the cake, the Pentagon, as of right now, out of their 4.0 trillion dollar assets that they somewhat own, they don't know where 80% of it is right now. They have failed 5 audits to try to figure out where all these assets are, and the Pentagon just go, "We don't know, but y'all need to raise the defense budget next year because we might be at war, y'all." Y'all don't even know what you do with the money for the last 10 years, but y'all still asking for money. So now let's take it all a step back. Now, local everyday Americans asking for some money for some student loans. Okay, great. Y'all shouldn't have went to school you couldn't afford. I understand that argument. So why the hell the Pentagon asking for money that they don't even know what they spending it on? And you know what they doing? They buying toilets for $50,000, but really ain't a toilet. It's a Tomahawk missile. They just don't want nobody to know that this toilet landing on Iraq right now. So some dude getting shitted on and getting hit by a toilet Tomahawk missile at the same time, and they don't know what's going on.
It's a deadly toilet. So I'm gonna throw some things out for y'all. Right now, the budget is $5.8 trillion, including $1.6 trillion in discretionary spending. I just read
what that mean. What discretionary mean? That's a big word.
They just do whatever they want to do. Budget? That's the U.S. budget.
The annual budget.
Annual budget for fiscal year 2023. I read the Department of Transportation and Housing and Urban Development budget. That total budget for the transportation and housing and urban development departments comes out to maybe $50 billion. It's a drop in the bucket, right? So that's one thing. Second thing, Brett Favre, go back to Max's point about them just passing out money. He took welfare and he stole it.
No,
he stole it.
He didn't know. And so here's the thing. He really didn't know in regards to where the money coming from. So he will be able to get away from that. His reputation is still scathed, but the people that gave him the money, them politicians, they going to jail.
It's never an excuse to not know. So anyway, then the third thing is...
Shit, you hand me $1 million, I ain't asking no questions.
Fair enough. Okay, fair enough. The college used to be free in America until the Reagan administration. But then that's when around the 60s, Black people started to go to college. And it was always the American dream, but only for white people, to go to college, buy a single family house, have 2.5 kids. Black people started doing that, and Reagan was like, hold the phone. Reagan also fucked up the housing market, but we don't have enough time for that. He was like, hold the phone. We can't have this. We got to make college cost money. So then every year since, it's been increasing exponentially. So those are all my disclaimers. That said, I got no shame. I'll drop my number. I owe the government $85,000 for my student loan. I got three degrees. I got a bachelor's, a master's of urban planning, and then an MBA. No regrets. I don't plan on paying no motherfuckers back that full amount. I'm going to do the student loan forgiveness, and with that 20 grand on top, I just barely make enough. I'm knocking on wood that Supreme Court will come through. All that said, with the way America runs and how they just be giving out money to anybody who asks, I want every fucking thing I could get, and then so I should have fucking did the PPP loan. I could have did. By then my dog was still living. I could have put her on the payroll. She was security, had a business. Why I ain't get that money? The 2008 bailouts, they gave out so much money to banks. Talking about the banks, the auto manufacturers, the what was the other ones? Banks, auto manufacturers, and there was another big corporate, airlines. They're too big to fail. We can't let them fail. If they fail, they'll ruin the economy. If that's the case, they weren't a sound business.
They already ruined the economy. The economy is shit. I don't know what they're talking about.
Yeah.
So that's just my little 2 cents. I had to throw it out there.
Like everybody want to blame Biden for the economy. Like, bro, it wasn't just Biden. It was all 45 of them. You know what I mean?
Oh, if they think the economy's bad now, wait until the Republicans refuse to increase the deficit.
Bro, we are fucked with this gridlock.
Ooh, it is going to be bad.
It took them 15 votes to elect a speaker, and they thought, and they were bragging. They were like, "Hey, it took long enough, but we got the job done."
I'll throw something out there just for shits and giggles, since we're talking about presidents. Apparently, all 43 presidents can trace their lineage back to one common ancestor, and that's King John of England, including Obama.
I mean, that's just the power of the power of 6, right? Where 6 rules of separation. Everybody's 6 or 7. It's the same thing. Like we all can trace ourselves to each other somehow. Like the fact that I know Kevin knows Vanna White knows the Queen of England knows everybody. You know, it's just something like that. You know what I mean?
They're related to him though somehow.
Yeah, I mean,
does that still count?
You can still figure it out. You find a way to relate it somehow. I mean, it's just a coincidence, but I mean, you know, like they say, royalty back in the day, they're all inbred incestual relationships anyway to keep the royal blood pure, and that's why a bunch of them were crazy as hell. You know, crazy as hell. But speaking of, what's another topic we're gonna talk about? What's the last thing we said we was gonna talk about?
I don't even remember.
So we too busy fighting about money, which isn't real to begin with. But let's talk about who we should be fighting. These damn aliens in Ukraine, bro, was trying to help out Ukraine, and Russia shot that mug down. So Russia starting wars with everybody. They shooting the Ukrainians and they shooting aliens. That thing rhymed. So now we about to have Independence Day. For real. And you know what Will Smith said? Welcome to Earth.
I thought you were going to say, keep my wife's name out your mouth.
That ain't the first time.
That ain't
the first time he slapped Chris Rock.
And it won't be last. Y'all gonna leave me hanging verbally? Okay.
What you say? I want listening.
I said it won't be the last.
Now, Will Smith, he done did what he had to do, man. Now he done did a slave movie. Now he done atone for his sins. He good.
Oh, Jesus.
He did it.
Movies.
He did. After slapping Chris Rock, He said, "You know what? How can I get Hollywood back up my side? Do a slave movie." And then nobody go see it. Did y'all see Emancipation?
No.
I did, but I saw
so y'all didn't even support Will Smith. Y'all he done made a movie for the people, for the culture, and y'all didn't go see him.
Well,
man, I'm tired of all these slave movies, man.
Wouldn't watching a movie like that support slavery?
That's what I'm saying.
I watch Marvel movies. Do you think I support, tyrants coming across the galaxy to get the Infinity Gems? You think I'm out here supporting genetic mutations of spiders to bite humans? Have people in New York web slinging?
No spoilers. I've successfully avoided 99% of Marvel and DC movies. No spoilers.
Black Panther dies.
Why are you avoiding them?
Huh?
Why are you avoiding them?
Just because I'm so far out of the game. I didn't grow up with them, so I would have to watch like hundreds of hours of content
I'm be real
to
with you.
get like the most minute joke.
It ain't that hard. During COVID, I watched the whole Infinity Saga like probably twice, and it was interesting.
I was working during COVID. I was in the office.
Yeah, I still worked.
I mean, everybody still worked, but I mean, I still watched that thing.
I was in the office.
Okay.
In two of the highest COVID-ridden counties in California.
So you should have hit me up. They said, "Hey Max, how do I watch movies while in the office during COVID?" Man, just start sneezing everywhere. Ain't nobody gonna come near you within a mile. You've been straight. Hey, I'm in the office, boss. How's it going? You need me to come hand deliver these papers to you?
I can't. Come on, man. You trying to get me caught up, bro?
I'm trying to look. You could have watched the Infinity Saga. You could have 10 eggs in your house right now. What does let me know? I'm here to help the people.
You got more eggs. I need some eggs.
Max definitely has some money saving hacks.
Yep.
Money saving hacks for Max.
Exactly, man. Just the facts. What we talking about? Oh, so these UFOs. So look, y'all think I'm tripping. So what if they shot down a real UFO? What if this ET gets hostile? He done sent out a beacon. Send back up. They done messed up my ship. They done broke my legs. What am I gonna do about my legs?
Honestly, it doesn't matter. If it was a real alien race that's gonna come through, ain't nothing we can do. Just enjoy the ride.
Oh, I know. There's something we can do.
Wow. I'm looking it up now. First of all, the Pentagon has collected over 510 reports of UFOs. Why are we just not hearing this since 2023? That's number one.
Because there's only one kind of aliens America worried about, and they at our southern border.
Oh, no.
Did that wall ever get built?
I mean, can a spaceship go over a wall?
Sections of the wall got built. That's sections.
Yeah, no, they did some reinforcing of the wall. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Did
Folks
you see the
spent
of like it's a piece of the wall and everybody is just literally walking around the wall? It's like a line of people walking around the wall to get into the
I saw one portion where they were ran out of fence and they just walked around.
Build that wall.
It wasn't even about the symbolism of it. It was just about government contracts to give people more money. That's all it was.
No.
Did we just talk about that? I bet you Brad Favre got one of those contracts.
The wall was not an issue. The wall was not an issue until people could rally around it. But I promise you, I lived in California. I grew up in California. Then I moved to Memphis. We didn't talk about the wall until it became a political running point. Like, why the hell do states that aren't even at the border care so much about border patrol when the states at the border at the time? I mean, yeah, they had funding, they talked about it, they secured what they can, but it wasn't like a huge rallying cry. You know what I mean? Because to me, it's like, I would say unless Texas, New Mexico, Arizona, and California, unless they are the ones mainly screaming, we need more funding. Why does I get it, Maine doesn't care. Ain't nobody gonna walk that far or hitchhike that far. But I mean, when Florida got in the mix, I'm like, what are y'all talking about? Ain't nobody. I mean, I guess maybe some refugees from Cuba used to be back in the day.
Florida has the issue with the Cubans and the Haitians, which I fucking hate because if you're a Cuban, they got the amnesty where if you make it to Floridian soil, you get amnesty. But if you Haitian, they will intercept your ass and shoot you right on back on that raft back to fucking Haiti. And we all know why, but you know.
Is Haiti embargoed though?
Not officially, but since Haiti won when they won their freedom from France, pretty much the entire world stage has kind of turned their back on Haiti.
Yeah.
So that's
I kind of recall
a lot of BS happening in Haiti on that. But I will say this, as far as immigrants not walking that far, there are politicians in Texas putting immigrants on buses and sending them to places on doorsteps. So you still got that nonsense. Hey, I gotta talk to my dad right quick. I'll see y'all in a minute.
For sure. Yep. All right, so now that Kevin's gone, we're just gonna wrap this up so we can say bye without him. Unless y'all got something else to talk about. So I'm gonna give you the first final word, T, since it's your first time on the show in a while.
Oh, nice.
So what do you want to leave the audience with? So you already told us that eggs cost too much. You done gave us some insightful history facts, and so I'll leave it up to you.
I'm gonna leave us with our dude from New York from about 15 years ago now. He's like, rent is too damn high. And I'm gonna remix his words. Everything is too damn high. And we need to have a general strike. That's my final word. Jimmy somebody.
General strike.
General strike. Everybody needs to go on strike like they do in France. We go on general strike. We'll shut in New York. They just went on a general strike.
Oh yeah, I saw the nurses. Yeah, the nurses in New York did go on strike. It worked too. The folks getting paid more now.
Just saying.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. But that's my final word.
I mean, it might work. But I mean, they could shoot us dead in the streets too. You know what I mean? They're gonna take a page out of some other countries' books.
Well, they're gonna shoot a good number of us, but some people you have to break a few eggs to make an omelet.
You have to drop a few eggs to get the majority of the dozen out the dough.
There you go.
I like that.
I like that second.
All right, Mr. White, C-Dub. What you got to say to the peoples?
Zip it up, zip it out.
All right, Kevin. Wise words coming from you. What's going on? I don't think you could have said it any better. All right, y'all. We are out. Birdgang, baby. Thanks for watching the show. Oh!